back to my channel and thank you for tuning back in for our talks with me. It's a new topic and it's going to be about healthy friendships and how to have, and we're just going to jump right in. So the first point that I wanted to make is to have a healthy friendship, you have to set boundaries. Point blank, baby. Point blank, period. You have to set boundaries. When I say that is because I cannot count. Child. I cannot count how many friendships I've been and I just let people talk to me any sort of way. I acted as if things didn't bother me that actually did bother me. And I used the excuse like, oh, they're my friend. Like, that's just who they are, as them being able to cross certain boundaries that shouldn't have been crossed. And I say this is because you will be the one facing the consequences in the end if you do not set those boundaries. It's not going to bother the other person because you've allowed that to happen. You've allowed their behavior to continue without addressing it or not setting those boundaries up. And so now you're kind of like, fuck, I'm the one annoyed. I'm the one that probably wants not to be friends with this bitch no more. And I have to now tell this bitch why I don't want to be friends with her anymore. And she's going to be like, well, why? Like, you didn't mention anything before. And it's because you didn't set boundaries, which is going to lead me to my next point. Healthy friendships, and only healthy friendships, have open communication. And I don't mean calling your friend a bitch, okay? That's not, I know we'd be like, oh, you my bitch. That's not open communication. Open communication is being able to tell your friend, hey, this is what's going on with me, and it may be positive. This is what's going on with me, and it may be negative. But regardless, you have to have open communication. That's the only way. Again, going back to the first point, you're going to set boundaries, and that you are not going to basically get the shitty end of the stick. You also, big point, you are responsible for your own line of communication. So I know I just mentioned like open communication, If you are open with your friend and then they in turn around and they're like, don't want to really, that's not really my style. That's not really my steez to be having talks like that. You know, cool that you want to be open, but that's not really my thing. That is that person. You are not responsible for that person not wanting to be open, to openly communicate. You are responsible for yourself. I know a lot of us are like thinking, okay, how can I make my relationship healthier with my friend? It's a two-way street. You can want all that for your friendship, but if your friend doesn't necessarily want that from their perspective, or they don't see a problem with how things are from their perspective, you cannot do anything about that. That is solely between that and that person. You are in control of yourself, so therefore you are responsible for how you communicate. Not to mention, if you are in a friendship with somebody who's not wanting the open communication and you do, that don't need to be your friend. Stage left. To the left. I don't give a fuck what it is, but you got to go. Because essentially, if you are someone who's really trying to push for a healthier lifestyle for you in every aspect of your life, that is not going to help. That's actually going to deter you from your growth, especially if your growth for you is communication. So reevaluate who your friends are, especially if they don't want to have open communication like that with you, because that's essential. To me, I feel like in this day and age, we take that friend word and throw that bitch looser than change. Okay, we just, oh, this is my friend. And I know a lot of people will probably take offense if you're like, oh, this is my acquaintance. But if that's all you is, sis, that's what you are. Like, if we don't have open communication, there's no boundaries set, you are an acquaintance, you are not my friend. And that is on that, okay? Point number 3. Don't have over the top expectations. Now, this is another big one. Whew, girl, I feel like we go into a lot of friendships and we expect like relationships as if they're our partners or our families. Do you know what I'm saying? And we almost expect the same type of emotional responsibility as someone who's like a family member, like a sister, a brother, a mom, to our friends. And you have to understand, our friends are the family we choose, right? Cute. But that saying ain't really accurate at all. Like, our friends are our friends, they're not our family. So they shouldn't have to hold the responsibility as family unless that is an agreement between the both of you. Unless you guys are both like, I see you as my sister, bitch, I see you as my sister or brother, whatever. Okay, then this is how we're going to treat each other. The boundaries are there. The relationship is that is established is there between the two of you. You got the communication, everything great. But if you, from your own just well-being, your personality, you're like, oh, everybody that's my friend, I take on as family. Woo, 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 I'm going to treat them as such. You are your own worst enemy because you're already having expectations for all these people and all these friendships that you're in that don't need to be there. They're human just like you. And there's some people who go into friendships and they don't expect anything at all. They don't expect you to be right hand bitch till the day they die, ride or die, ride out. Like, some people don't expect that. So if you go into a friendship and you're just like, or you already have a friendship and you're like, I expect you to be this for me and that for me, you're going to lose. And that's when you have to self-reflect and be like, am I filling a void? Do I maybe not have a close relationship with my own family? And so I'm holding this friend to the expectations of someone who is like, that I would like, how do I say this? Am I holding my friend to the same expectations of a family member because they're around? Do you get what I'm saying? So don't do that. It hurts you in the end again because you will be disappointed essentially, especially if you and that person are not on the same level. It will hurt you. So keep that in mind. Another point that I wanted to make: hold yourself and others accountable. I gotta sit up and scoot up for this one, bitch. Listen, not every friendship is perfect. We all argue. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own ways of being, and so on and so forth. But if you end up in a position with your friend and you guys don't see eye to eye, and there's things that are said, there's things that are done, that have been done, you best believe that you need to hold yourself accountable, because you cannot argue with yourself. So I know you want to think, well, she started it and she did this and she did that. You play a part. Everyone always plays a part. And I know it's hard to sit there and swallow that pill, like, fuck, like, why am I the problem? Like, I'm not the problem. It's her. Like, she started it. You played a part, whether it's the way you responded, whether it's the way that you've been treating them in the past and maybe now they're upset and now they're responding in a certain way, but then you're like, well, I've changed. Like, you know what I mean? Why are you mad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be anything. You need to hold your end of the bargain, which is hold yourself accountable. If you want your friend to hold themselves accountable for something that they did, you best believe that you need to hold yourself accountable as well. It takes two to have a friendship. Any relationship, friendship, relationship with a family member, it's always you and one other person. So there always has to be accountability on both sides. That's on that. Okay? Sorry, y'all. I'm just like, I'm passionate. So I'm like, we're talking over here. This is the last point I have to make. And this is like probably the most simplest, but I feel like a lot of people, we kind of overlook. Your friendship should be the easiest, breeziest relationships you have in your life. Yes, they should. Like, in terms of relationships, you're gonna have your trials and tribulations with relationships. You're gonna have your trials and tribulations with family, but your friendships should be the easiest interactions and experiences ever. They should not be as complicated as your relationships and your situations with family. If that is the case for you, baby, we need to reflect. We need to reflect on why with ourselves, why with those people. We need to do a whole reflection of our situation, because those should be the easiest relationships. Just like I was saying, like, well, I wasn't really saying, but you know the saying, like, your family, your friends, whatever that you choose, whatever. Not that I solely believe in that, but I definitely feel like those should be the most lighthearted relationships in your life. Those are people that you can probably learn the quickest from, the easiest from. Do not take friendship so seriously where it's like, bitch, I was loyal to you. It's like, okay, she wasn't loyal to me, and I'm gonna move on because we're just not on the same page, and we don't have that open communication where I am as loyal to you as I am to a family member, and you don't feel that same way about me. So like, maybe we're just acquaintances, and that's cool. Acquaintances is fine to have. Like, people act like, oh, she's an acquaintance. Like, no. Acquaintances are people that you can turn up with once a year, and then you don't gotta emotionally worry about them later because they ain't worried about you in that way. You can literally just have those people, and then you have your close people that you have that open communication with. You have the boundaries, you have the like limited expectations, you have all those in place. But it's easy, it's simple, you don't have to worry. And that is my last point. I know it's probably like not significant. You're probably like, girl, please, like, that was your last point. But no, for real, I think that is the most important. If your friendships become so like drama filled and just like so heavy to the point where you're like, do I want to be friends with this bitch? You don't want to be friends with this bitch if you're questioning. Or he. I keep saying bitch like I'm talking about girls, but he too. But thank you guys so much for watching and tuning into this video. I hope you liked it. Y'all know what I'm going to say, because the minute I point this finger at you, it's game over. Subscribe. I'm not giving you an option. The button's below. You don't even have to double tap, bitch. That's it. One click and you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe if you want to share this video with your friend, because maybe you want to change the relationship with your friend. Maybe you want it a little bit more healthier. Maybe you don't feel like there's open communication. Send her me, and she can watch this video, and we can talk about it. And make sure you comment how you felt about the video. Comment any other extra points that I didn't put in, because again, I'm not a friend expert. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye.